All right, let's look at number 1.15, problem 15, chapter 1. They give you this formula that the tax rate is this horrible fraction, and they want you to simplify the fraction. So this is just algebra. There's no word problems here. It's just stuff that, you've been doing for a long time, but it's tricky. And so I just want to go over how to do this, then you can answer the second part on your own. A lot of you could probably do this on your own, which is great. But I'll show you how I would do it. And hopefully that helps you out. Okay, so first we need to start at the very bottom here. That's where I would start. Let's simplify this thing, 1 plus 1 over x. And to do that, how do you add 1 to 1 over x, right? So what you do is you find a common denominator. So I'm just going to break that out in steps here. So 1 plus 1 over x. Well, we already have, this one has a denominator of x, so we have to have the 1 have a denominator of x. If we multiply the bottom by 1, so I'm going to rewrite that 1 as 1 over 1. To find a common denominator, you multiply the top and the bottom by the same thing. We want a common denominator of x, so we multiply top by x and the bottom by x. So this is the same thing as x over x plus 1 over x, because x over x is 1. Same thing divided by the same thing is 1. So this is the same thing. And now, if we have common denominators, if you remember the way you add fractions is you add the numerators together. So we have x plus 1 over x. So that's x plus 1 over x. Now we can write this as r divided by 1 plus 1 over x plus 1 over x. Because this thing here is the same as this thing there. Now we use the rule, and it's not really a rule. The way you simplify, if you divide by a fraction, we're dividing here 1 divided by a fraction, you multiply by the reciprocal, right? So we multiply by the reciprocal of this, which is reciprocal of this, we put the x in the top, x over x plus 1. Or the way I look at it, once you do that enough, the way you look at it is, oh, the bottom of the bottom goes in the top. Notice the x plus 1 is still in the bottom. So the x plus 1 is the bottom, but the bottom of the bottom goes to the top. Okay, so let's rewrite this now. This is r over 1 plus x over x plus 1. Put the bottom on the top so that we have that. Now we do the same thing again. We have to find a common denominator to add the 1 to this. Now the common denominator is x plus 1. Right, 1 is the same thing as x plus 1 over x plus 1. So that we have, so again, just adding fractions, common denominators. So this is r divided by x plus 1 over x plus 1, that's our 1 there, plus x over x plus 1. Now we can add those together because we have a common denominator. So common denominator is x plus 1, so we have x plus 1 plus x, which means we have 2 x's on the top, 2x plus 1 on the top. So this thing now is equal to, I'll write it over here, r over 2x plus 1 over x plus 1, 2x plus 1 over x plus 1. Again, common denominator x plus 1, x plus x is 2x plus 1. And again, now we do the same rule we did before. The bottom of the bottom goes in the top. Or, if you like, we multiply, if we divide by a fraction, you multiply by the reciprocal, which means we multiply this by, I'll write that out, dividing by a fraction is multiplying by the reciprocal. The reciprocal is x plus 1 over 2x plus 1. Or again, the 2x plus 1 stays in the bottom of the bottom goes to the top. So this is just r times x plus 1. R times x plus 1. Make sure you use parentheses. That'd be totally wrong if you didn't use parentheses. That's pretty true. Gotta be careful there. And on the bottom we have 2x plus 1. Now it is a simple fraction. We could multiply the r through and say xr or rx plus r. I think it's easier to leave it like this. It's probably less math if you know what r is and know what x is, to just leave it like that. I'm not sure what they did the answer as. Let me see what they did the answer as. Number 15. Yeah, they left it like that too. They put the 1 plus x they've switched the order around, but adding the order doesn't matter, right? So it's okay if we have 2x plus 1 or 1 plus 2x or x plus 1, 1 plus x. All right, so that's how you do the algebra. Now I think they just give you some numbers and you plug in what r is and plug in what x is, and you can see if you get their answers. Not too bad, but that's how you do that one. So hopefully that helped if you're stuck there. And thanks again for listening.